Hello everyone, myself is Rajeshwari. I am working as a contract lecturer in electrical department in Government Polytechnic, Cherian College. I am dealing with the subject of electrical power systems for the fourth semester of diploma students. And today's topic is nuclear power plant and also introduction of hydro power plant in hydroelectric power station and also and nuclear power stations. So in the last classes, I discussed about the what is the nuclear energy and what are the materials used for nuclear power plant and the reactions of nuclear energy which is used in nuclear power plants. In today's class, we will learn about the nuclear power plant operation and also what are the hydroelectric power plant, what are the requirements, selection of site. So all those things we'll learn in this class. So first of all, it is the black diagram of nuclear power station. So this is the nuclear reactor. In this, control rods are placed, and these are the uranium rods, and this is the moderator, and these are the reflectors. Dark is reflector. And here heat exchanger, and this is connected to the turbine, and from this turbine to condenser, and these are the cooling towers, and this is connected to the heat exchanger, and this turbine is coupled with the alternator, and this alternator is connected with the transformer and isolator circuit breaker connections with bus bars. This is the exciter, and this is the alternator. So in this condenser will condensate the exhaust steam, and it will send to the heat exchanger again to the nuclear reactor. So this is the water and these are the cooling towers. And coming to the working of nuclear reactor. So by nuclear fusion makes heat, and this heat is sent to boiler for heat the water to make the steam, and from this boiler the steam is sent to turbines, that is steam turns turbines, and these rotating turbines rotate or turn the generator, and these generator will develop an electrical power sent around the country. So this is how it will work a nuclear power plant. Working of a nuclear power station, and the main parts of nuclear reactor are control rods. For example, we use control rods as cadmium rods are control rods, and nuclear fuel, that is uranium, thorium, plutonium, as earlier discussed, and moderator graphite, reflectors material is graphite, and coolant is a liquid sodium is used for the coolant in nuclear reactors. And coming to the functions of each block. So this is the nuclear reactor. These are the moderators and control rods, and this is the fuel. So these control rods are used to control the nuclear chain reaction, and this uranium is used as a fuel for nuclear reactor, and this is the moderator which slow down the neutrons in the nuclear reactor. And coming to the advantages, wait a minute. Coming to the advantages of graphite moderators. So here we are using these moderators for slowdown of the neutrons. And coming to these moderator used as graphite, the advantages of graphite moderators are it has high thermal conductivity compared to other moderators, and it slows down the velocity of neutrons from 1.5 into 10 to the power of 7 meter per second to 2.2 into 10 to the power of 3 meters per second. And the natural uranium can be used as a fuel, and it has high resistance to corrosion compared to other types of moderators. So high resistance of to corrosion compared with other moderators or other materials like sodium, all those things. So this natural uranium can be used as a fuel. And coming to the function of reflector, so these are the reflectors used in this nuclear reactor. So it reflects the escaping neutrons into the vessel. So if any neutron is escaping from this vessel, reflector will reflect the neutrons into that vessel only. So this is the function of a reflector. And coming to the heat exchanger, so the heat exchanger for transforms heat at high temperature and pressure and supplies steam to the turbine. So here the steam is sent to this turbine, and with that steam this turbine will rotate, and the uses of heat exchanger are here heat exchange from hot coolant to cold water, and it is similar to boiler drum where steam generated by the acquiring heat from coolant which carries temperature from the reactor core. So which is heat exchanger is also similar to a boiler, and which generates the steam from coolant water, and it carries temperature from reactor core to the turbine. And the next one is the turbine. uh, it converts steam energy into mechanical energy, and this condenser will condensate the steam temperature uh, from the turbine, which is excess steam. And these cooling towers are for recirculation of water. So here from this condenser, some exhaust steam is coming to this cooling towers, which cools uh, that steam into water, and it will circulate recirculation of heat exchanger to the nuclear reactor. And next is a alternator or generator, which converts mechanical energy into electrical energy. So for that we use this generator. And coming to the transformer, that is potential transformers, these are stepped up the voltage and then it transmit to the power. We use this step up transformer here, and this transformer will step up the voltage and it will send to the transmission lines through bus bars. And next one is circuit breakers. In this, circuit breakers are used for make and break the circuit under no load conditions. So here, in between isolators and circuit breaker is placed. This isolator will protect the circuit breaker against the faults. If any fault occurs, it will break and make the circuit under no load conditions. And coming to this circuit breaker, it's all under all conditions, in all conditions. So it will makes and it breaks the circuit, and isolators are protect the circuit breaker against the faults. And these are the bus bars which are used to make common connections to the transmission lines. From this bus bars, the generated power will transmit through the transmission lines. And the next one is transmission lines. These are used for power transmission from generating stations to the consumer premises. And coming to coolant, what is a coolant? So in general, the coolant is a medium or material which is used for cooling the specified area. That is, if the exhaust steam is cooled in this coolant, cooling towers, and in reactor, nuclear reactor, one coolant is used for cooling the specified area. That is, here coolant is required in this. If heat is heavily increased, this coolant will cool this complete specified area in the nuclear reactor. And need of coolant in nuclear reactor is the heat produced in nuclear reactor is to be transferred to the heat exchanger for further utilization of steam generation, and it can be done by using coolant. If heavy steam is appear, it will wastage of steam is uh, the steam is wasted in this nuclear reactor because heavy steam is increased and it will waste in the reactor. So for removing of wastage, this heat produced in the nuclear reactor will transfer to heat exchanger for further utilization of steam generators by the use of coolant. For that, we need coolant, and materials used for coolant are liquid sodium, carbon dioxide, air, hydrogen, helium, water, and organic liquids. And coming to the function of coolant, the main function of coolant is to carry the heat from nuclear reactor to heat exchanger. And coming to the reflectors, reflector is a device which reflects the actual projected things. For example, if a ball is thrown on the wall, then the ball reflects back, and hence the wall will act as a reflector in this case. If any neutrons are skipped from this vessel, these reflectors will reflect the neutrons into the vessel only. So this wall is here in this example, wall is act as a reflector. And the need of reflector in nuclear reactor, or in nuclear reactor, the generated neutrons tries to escape from the reactor. To avoid this escape of neutrons from the nuclear reactor, we need a reflector to avoid the escape of neutrons from the nuclear reactor. And the function of reflector is the main function of a reflector is to bounce back the escaping neutrons in the nuclear reactor, and the reflector in nuclear reactor, the main function is to reflect the excess neutrons. This is the reflector used in this vessel. So these, if any neutrons are escaped from this area, so these reflector will reflect the neutrons in this vessel only. This is the reflector functioning. So in this nuclear reactor, the reflector will reflect the leakage neutrons into the vessel itself. And these are the nuclear reactor. So these are excessive. If any neutrons is escaped from this, so these are reflects here only. So this is the reactor shielding and control rods, pressure vessel, and reflector, uranium as a fuel in this. And these are the moderators, and this is the feed water pump. So materials used for reflector. So these are the two types of materials used for reflector are graphite and heavy water. And next is a control rod. So control rod is a rod which is used for controlling any mechanism. So for example, gear rod in the vehicle is used for controlling and changing the speed. Like that, one rod is used for controlling any mechanism in the nuclear reactor. So that is the control rod. The need of control rods in nuclear reactor are in nuclear reaction, the released neutrons are further participated in the next stage of nuclear reaction and causes it will speed up the reaction. And in order to slow down the nuclear reaction, we need a special equipment which absorbs the neutrons released in the reaction. That device is called control rods. So the need of control rod is mainly it will absorb the excess neutrons released in the nuclear reaction. So these are control rods, and the materials used for the control rods are carbon and boron as a control rods. And these are the control rods which are used in these nuclear reactors. So these are uranium, water is a moderator, and these are the movable control rods. This is hot water out and cool water in. So these are cadmium control rods. And coming to the functions of control rods, these are placed in the nuclear reactor vessel. And if these rods are placed very deep into the vessel, then it absorbs more neutrons. And if they are raised at the top of the vessel, then it absorbs less number of neutrons. Because these are dipped into this vessel in depth, then only these will control the or absorb the neutrons released in the nuclear reactions. If these are placed in the top of the vessel, then few number of neutrons only absorbs from this nuclear from the control rods. And the function of control rod in nuclear reactor is it absorbs less neutrons. So by keeping control rods in upper side, then these are absorbing less neutrons. If by placing like this, so these are absorbs more number of neutrons. I will see. So like this, by placing like this control rods, so it absorbs less number of neutrons, and by adjusting this as like this, these control rods are here. By placing like this, these are absorbs more number of neutrons from the nuclear reactions. This is all about the nuclear reactor and nuclear power plant to generate the electrical power from nuclear energy to electrical power. So next come to the hydroelectric power station. In this hydroelectric power station, electrical power generating plant, it is also one of the electric power generation plant, and it will produce electrical energy from the water flow, and it utilizes the potential energy of water at high level for the generation of electrical power. Coming to this energy conversion stages of hydroelectric power station is, in this the potential energy is converted into kinetic energy, and this kinetic energy is converted into mechanical energy, and this mechanical energy is converted into electrical energy. The potential energy of water is converted into the electric energy with the help of hydroelectric power stations. Coming to a hydro power plant, a generating station which utilizes the potential energy of water at a high level for the generation of electrical energy, and is known as a hydroelectric power station. The hydroelectric power stations are generally located in hilly areas where dams can be built conveniently and large water reservoirs can be obtained. And in hydroelectric power stations, water head is created by constructing a dam across the river or lake. From the dam, water is led to the water turbine. So, a hydroelectric power station or power plant is one of the electric generating plant, electric energy generating station or plant. This is a generating station which generates, uh, which utilizes the potential energy of water from high level for the generation of electrical energy is known as hydroelectric power station. In these hydroelectric power stations, which are located in hilly areas where the requirement of a dam can be built conveniently, and also the large water reservoirs will be obtained conveniently. In this hydroelectric power stations, water head is created by constructing a dam across the river or lake. And from this dam, water is led into the water turbine. And the water turbine captures the energy in the falling water and changes the hydraulic energy, that is a product of head and flow of water. That is a product of head is H into flow of water, H into flow of water, that is a head into flow of water, and into mechanical energy at the turbine shaft, and the turbine drives the alternator which converts mechanical energy into electrical energy. The hydroelectric power stations are becoming very popular because the reserves of fuels, that is coal and oil, are depleting day by day. But in case of hydroelectric power stations, the availability of water is somewhat better than these reserves of fuels like coal and oil. And they have the added importance of flood control, storage of water for irrigation, and water for drinking purpose also from these hydroelectric power stations. So some of the advantages of these hydroelectric power stations are hereby. It requires no fuel as water, and so other than coal and oil or all other power plants, it requires no fuel because water is used for the generation of electrical energy, and it is quite neat and clean as no smoke and ash are produced. So it requires very small running charges because water is the source of energy, so that running charges are very less, which is available free of cost. So the water is at free of cost. It is comparatively simple in construction and requires less maintenance. So construction is also simple for this hydroelectric power stations, and also maintenance cost is also low. So that is less maintenance is required for this hydroelectric power station. And it requires no fuel as the other power plants, and it is neat and clean also. No smoke and ash are produced in this hydroelectric power stations, and also it has a small running charges because of water is available at the free of cost. So it does not require a long starting time like a steam power station, because for the steam power station it requires long starting time because it will burn the coal and produce the heat, so that it will take some time. In fact, such plants can be put into service instantly, and it is robust and has a longer life. Such plants serves many purpose. In addition to the generation of the electrical energy, they also help in irrigation and controlling of floods also. By constructing dams, it can remove the floods problems also. Although such plans requires the attention of highly skilled persons at the time of construction and at for operation. A few experienced persons may do the job well for this hydroelectric power station because it is work with flow of water, so that the highly skilled persons are required for the construction of dams at the operation. So they will do a good job, and it is helpful for irrigation and controlling the floods also. By constructing dams, it will remove the floods, and it will the excess water will used for the irrigation of the irrigation works at near the stations, and it has robust and longer life. And some of the disadvantages also there for this hydroelectric power station. It involves high capital cost due to construction of dam. So by constructing the dam, we require high amount of um, money so to install the dams and reservoirs, like all the equipments from this. It has high capital cost due to the construction of dam and reservoir, all the things. And there is a uncertainty about the availability of huge amount of water due to the dependence on weather conditions. So there will be a uncertainty because in summer the huge amount of water is dependent on weather conditions only. If it is rainy season, means heavy water is available for producing electrical energy. But in summer and winter, some of the water difficulty is there occurs mainly in summer seasons. So the availability of water is somewhat less in the somewhat less in summer condition. So this water is amount of water is dependent on weather conditions, and the skilled and experienced hands are required to build the plant, and it requires high cost of transmission lines as the plant is located in hilly areas, so which are required quite away from the consumers, so that some transmission line cost also increases for from hilly areas to the consumer premises. So high capital cost is also one of the disadvantage for this hydroelectric power station, because construction of dam is quite heavy cost, and the availability of water is dependent on weather conditions, and also skilled and experienced persons will require for building of this plant, because some dams and reservoirs are built in this uh, rivers are from the hilly areas. So some skilled experienced hands are required for this complete plant location and plant installation, and it requires high cost of transmission lines also, because these are located at hilly areas and consumer premises are longer from this location, so the transmission line cost also increases. And coming to the selection of hydroelectric power plants, so for this also some of the uh, selection is mainly dependent on some of the factors, so which are given by availability of water. First is the availability of water. So runoff data for many years are available, because if water is available only, this hydro power plant will work. And water storage, next thing is water storage. So for this water availability throughout the year is dependent on this water storage, so we will store some of the water for throughout the year. So this is the one of the factor. And head of a water, so economic head, possibility of constructing a dam to get the required head. So we have to maintain the head of the water for this hydroelectric power plant selections and geological investigations, and strong foundation and earthquake frequency is less for this selection of hydropower plant. So because if any earthquake is present, then dam is broken, means it's not good for the locating and installing the hydroelectric power station. So that is the geological investigations are main factors for selection of hydroelectric power stations. And water pollution, so excessive corrosion and damage to metallic structures, because these are placed in water, so it will pollute the water. Pollution of some of the metallic structures used in hydroelectric power stations. And coming to the social and environmental effects, so submergence of areas, effect on biodiversity, that is Western Ghat, and cultural and historic aspects. So these are the one of the factor for selecting the hydroelectric plant installation. And access to site. Access to site means for the transportation of construction material and heavy machinery. New railway lines or roads may be needed, and site is used if we are constructing some hydroelectric power station, means in that site the transportation facility is available for the transportation of heavy machinery, and railway lines is required, or road lines are required, because some of the heavy machinery is transferred transported from one place to industrial place to the uh, hydroelectric power plant constructed place. So it is very necessary to access to the site for the transportation of constructing material and also heavy machinery. And coming to the multi-purpose, so by constructing hydroelectric power station, we are using that for some multi-purpose works. So that is for one for power generation, and other irrigation and flood control and navigation and recreation, because initial cost of power plant is very high because of civil engineering construction work. So dams are constructed with the civil engineering people. So reservoirs, dams, all these things are constructed with a high cost of amount. So that initial cost is more for this hydroelectric power stations. For the generation, so it will be helpful for multi-purpose, then it is useful and it will be efficient. So for this multi-purpose works are some first is a power generation. This water is used for power generation, and also some of the water is used for the wastage of water is given to irrigation works, and it will control the floods. And also navigation is oh, in this water navigation facility is also one of the work and recreation. So these are multi-purpose works done with this hydroelectric power station, which are installed at the hilly areas. So these are the some of the factors which are affects the selection of hydroelectric power plant. So this is all about today's class. In this class, we will be understand that we discussed about the nuclear power plant, how the nuclear power plant will convert nuclear energy into electrical energy, and also hydroelectric power plant advantages, disadvantages, and introduction to the hydropower plant, and also selection of hydroelectric power plants. In the next class, we will see the what is the functioning and working of hydroelectric power plants, and how it will work, and how the water energy or potential energy of water is converted into electrical energy. In between, what will happen, how it will be converted from water energy, that is potential energy of water, to the electrical energy. We will see in the next classes. uh, this is all about today's class. Thank you.